Are we live yet? Are we live yet? I believe we are. Hey, 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 Inspire Gang! Welcome to Dreamaniac TV. And you're watching All Up in Your Business with Sebastian. And you might hear my phone go off. And if you do, I'm sorry. I just didn't prepare for having my phone going off this time. All right, there you go. Turn off that bad boy. So you're watching All Up in Your Business Season 2 on Dreamaniac TV. Right now, if you're tuned in, please share. Please share the link right now. Please share this broadcast on your timeline, in a group. Share, 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 and show me that you care. Tag a friend you want to come along and watch with you, because we're going to be talking all about business, and we're going to be talking about getting in deep into the business of my guest, and we're going to dig some dirty, okay? Share on your timeline, share in any groups, start a watch party, share as a message with your buddy. Drop a hash live if you're watching live right now. Drop a replay if you're watching the replay. And please, 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 please tell me where you're from. Hey, Vanessa, I hope this will be, the guest is amazing, but the host is kind of a little bit flustered. I'm joking. So yes, if you're watching live right now, please hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay. Tell me, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from right now? Are you, which country you're watching from? What time zone you're watching from? Because we've had audience from all over the world, and I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Give us some love. If you're actually watching from a mobile right now, love bomb me. Like me, love me. If you don't like my face, hate me, but please bomb me with your smileys and emoticons so I know that you're there. And anywhere, if you're watching from anywhere else right now, because this is being broadcasted on several pages, on my guest's page, on around 15 to 20 other pages, more than 20,000 audience right now connected to these pages. Please, please, please come to facebook.com/Dreamaniac TV. And if you don't have Facebook, why? I don't understand why. Well, if you don't have Facebook anyway, please come to www.dreamaniac.com. Tell your friends, any of your friends who are not on Facebook, who give you the excuse, oh, I don't have Facebook, just tell them to come to www.dreamaniac.com and come and watch there. Or you can go to dreamaniac.com/shows, one and the same thing. And I'll come up with more information on that. Please drop a hello in the comments so I know you're here. Please say something. Please tell me you're tuned in. Do you have any interest in business? Do you have any interest in fears? Do you have any interest in mindset? If you do, please comment and let's include you in the conversation. And remember, I can only see your comments if you're on facebook.com/Dreamaniac TV. To comment, please come to facebook.com/Dreamaniac TV. If you're a friend of my guest, still come to Dreamaniac TV, because that's where my guest will be able to see your comments. We'll be able to interact with you. We'll be able to put up your comments. And so once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Sebastian One, and you're watching All Up in Your Business Season 1, Episode 2 on Dreamaniac TV. Hey, Eleni, thank you so much. You're the right person to tune in, This is going to be an interesting show for you, so keep an eye. So let me begin with what the show is all about. I bring in a guest every week, and I dig a little bit of dirt on their personal life. I dig a little bit of dirt on how they started their business journey, the challenges that they faced, the circumstances that they had to overcome to be successful, to start something they were always ambitious for, and what happened in between. Did they face failure? Did they have any hurdles? How did they overcome, and all that? And of course, I dig a little bit deep into their personal life as well, because after all, I'm getting all up in their business, right? So I'd like to actually welcome my guest, Adam Clark, who is right now in the green room. So producer, if you're ready, I'd love to have my guest in the show right now.
Hey, Sebastian.
Hey, Adam. So Adam is a mindset coach, he's a mentor, and he's a consultant. But how you going, mate?
Very well, thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's absolute honor. And given how we started, how we met, it's interesting we're doing this now, right?
Yes, absolutely. We've probably known each other for what, over a year via Twitter.
Yeah. And thank you, Lenny. Thank you so much. Yes, you will love Adam's story, Eleni. It's just amazing how we met. So that's where I'm beginning with. And you're absolutely looking sharp, mate. So obviously you're ready, you're trained and ready and professional for this. And that wasn't the case a few months ago, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, a few weeks ago, I happened to have a look at your page, and I saw Vanessa's upcoming show teaser, and there was a 6-minute teaser on what that show was going to be about, and it was around fear. And you know what? I've wanted to get into coaching on a bigger scale to help more people. And doing this kind of thing just a few weeks ago, I probably would have turned around and run away from. But it was something that she said, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Put your best foot forwards and get stuck in and have a go. That's made me do this today. So, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so she literally sort of brought the breakthrough that you needed, right?
Yeah.
And I've been in contact with you for a while on Twitter. We've had discussions. And you know that just seeing your tweets encouraged me so much to sort of like, oh, I need to get to know this person. And, you know, we had no connection, just absolute random, you know, just some hashtag I think brought us together. And just as a result of that hashtag, I contacted you. We started the conversation. And, you know, I've been trying to get you on to do something. And you've been a little bit reluctant. And Vanessa, 6 minutes, did the magic. So the show on, you know, it was my show, Almost Naked Conversation with Sebastian. And we were doing 6 days, 6 minutes at 6 p.m. teasers. And it just so happens you actually tuned in on the 6th day, I believe. And, you know, it's just amazing, like just the last day. And then the conversation you and I had after that was just, I believe you and I were on, after that, we were on a call for almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That teaser really did spark me just to get on a call with you and see what everything was about and to see what was next, you know.
Absolutely. And Eleni says, yay, Vanessa Canavar and bravo, Adam, for taking the action. Absolutely. And not just that we got on a call for 2 hours, that was your first camera call like that internationally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything business, non-personal, first time you actually got on a call, discuss something business. Speaking of which, I do want to tell people a little bit about you. You know, you have had quite an interesting sort of, you know, childhood and growth and everything. You started your career as young as 17 years old, and you actually had a business. You were actually an entrepreneur at 17. You were, like at 17, most people are still trying to figure out, what do I want to do now? And you were already doing something. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that 17-year-old entrepreneur?
Yeah, I suppose at school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I left. And I didn't have probably a great experience with the careers teachers in school. They were tempted to put me off of what I actually enjoyed and what I thought I would go on to do after school, which was graphic design, funnily enough. So I decided that university wasn't the right route for me. I wanted to get straight out there, start working, earning some money, feeling you know, empowered and responsible for myself, not allowing my parents, you know, to look after me throughout university or college. And I've always been interested in more business and having something of my own. So yeah, I decided to go straight out and I launched a garden landscape and a maintenance business basically at age 17.
So obviously you started your professional journey very early, but that's not just the interesting part. You've had 14 different jobs so far, and
Yeah.
I don't see a connection in one job to another. You've had quite a journey from being a landscaper to a personal trainer to a leisure operational management, operations guy, educator, health and safety advisor, compliance manager, IT guy. Okay, the list is long, and now the facilities management. So I don't see the connection. Maybe probably one or two. What's that about? How did you jump from one to another, absolutely different careers?
I've always been a little bit hung up on, having too many career moves or, flitting from job to job. So I don't believe that does, people too many favors. However, obviously that's been my journey, and largely I've made changes for different reasons. A lot of them have been about the type of work, losing interest or feeling like I could give more in other areas, and also about family, not working till midnight all weekend, having that work-life balance was important at a specific period when we were thinking about having children. So there's been various things that have moved me on in my career. But going back to your point, the uniform bit going all the way through, it has been about people. And I've probably only woken up to this fact in the last 2 to 3 years, having been on a journey to discover my, emotional intelligence, understand myself. And I've started to truly realize that actually I've always worked with people, worked with teams of people. Probably started off as a manager, but I consider myself now a leader. I think there's quite two different things. Mm-hmm. And I just enjoy that element of working with people, helping people, serving people, and and getting them to where they want to be. Because if they achieve, I achieve, and that's kind of the way I look at things.
Perfectly said. And actually, since you speak of leader versus manager, I'd like you to actually elaborate a little bit in your vision of that, because people often do confuse the two with each other. They think it's the same thing. You could be a manager but not a great leader, and you could be a leader but not managing well. So do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think people do confuse the two. Manager for me comes second. I mean, we do it all of the time, don't get me wrong, but I think for me, a manager comes second. It's about managing things, activity, task, managing people's expectations, even, managing people in certain circumstances or situations. Whereas being a leader, it's about inspiration, it's about guidance, coaching, being a mentor, leading by example. I've always lived by that. I was taught that at an early stage in my career from one of my managers that I recall the most, I suppose. And, empowerment, creating that vision, the strategy, and getting people along for that journey and for them to understand how they fit into it. For me, that's key and comes first. And as I said before, servant leadership is absolutely key. Seeing people achieve is fantastic, and that's what I, really get from what I do today.
Right. So in your journey from being a manager to a leader, when did you really realize the difference between the two, and what made you, sort of go for, okay, I know I'm a leader and I need to go in that direction. I need to do something about that.
Yeah, I think it's been over the last 3 years. I'm very fortunate to work for a fantastic company right now that have put time and effort into me in terms of my personal and professional development. I've been going through leadership tier programs, which basically for me have made me become conscious to what I have been doing for years and making me understand what I do and how I do it to be successful. Things have always just kind of gone along and seemed to go well for me. And I've never really understood why, but these 2 courses that they've put me through in the last 3 years have really woken me up to my emotional intelligence, if you like. And yeah, for me, I remember one specific point when a recruitment manager in the business said to me, thanks, boss. I don't like the term boss because it depicts somebody that bosses people around, is a bit of a dictator. That's not me at all. So they called me manager, and I said, no, I'm not that either. I'm a leader. So from then on, that person now calls me leader instead of my personal name. So I think, yeah.
Right. And Eleni said, sounds like a great journey, Adam. All of your choices have absolutely contributed to your path now. And that's a great point, because I want to kind of segue that into something else. It hasn't always been picture perfect. You've had challenges, and most of these challenges, from what I understand, have been self-created, right? Yeah. You speak of perfectionism, right? Yeah. And I call perfectionism. Is it perfectionism or hurdleism? I call it hurdleism. So tell me more about your perfectionism, and how did that stop you, and where did you go from there?
Okay, do you know what, with perfectionism, and just to mention that I did write about this in a short blog on my website. I came to realize again over the last 2 to 3 year journey that I am a perfectionist. I've always known that I like to plan to the nth degree. I like to ensure everything goes smoothly. But you know what? I found out that that's to my detriment sometimes, that I overplan, I overthink. That can cause trouble in so many different ways in terms of how I'm perceived. Perhaps I don't deliver in the timeframes that people have asked me to deliver in. They may not say so. I haven't even realized that. And actually the point where I realized that, perfectionism was a problem was when I asked a member of the team, how they feel about me. In fact, they called me Red Pen Raymond because I used to red pen all of the communication text and copy that used to be sent out. So I would do that before it was sent out, and the idea and the intentions were in the best interest of the team and I to send out a quality piece of copy, so it reflected well on them and us as a whole. So with the best intentions, but actually how it was coming across was that I distrusted them in their capability.
You're right.
I had no idea that they thought that until I asked the question.
Right. And look, feedback is important. And Eleni says the law of cause and effect will always connect the dots. So true. And, you just mentioned about, delays in delivery because you're trying to perfect things. And that's something I have struggled with myself. So I exactly know where you're coming from. And that's where your and my conversation really started, because I got pushy, right? I got pushy. I have been there, and I still think I would say if there was a rating system or something, I would say 8 out of 10 I have improved, but 2 is still there. And that's exactly what I recognized in you. And I pushed you, I chased you, I harassed you per se, till you gave in, till you literally came to the show and you had a conversation with me. And I think, not that I'm taking credit, but you've got a perfectly going website ready. Your business is growing, your work is growing, and you're putting yourself more out there. And that is, I think, getting over the perfectionism, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was probably a bit taken aback by the way that you approach things. I didn't feel that I could come on the show with, a 90% complete website, for example, because I always get quite hung up and I overthink on how people perceive me through the things that they see that are connected to me, for instance. And that was holding me back. You know, I can't come on the show, Sebastian, until this is 100%.
Yeah, and that's what was happening. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And Angelita says hello. Thank you, Angelita, for tuning in. So before we take a break, we've got to take a break very soon. You know, this perfectionism becomes a hurdle in itself, and I think it comes from a place of self-judgment and self-criticism, and not believing in something we're doing, and probably it is right, probably it is not, but we're not giving ourselves even a chance to put it out there and at least let people see what we can do, right? Okay, so on that note, I'll just take a quick break, and we'll bring you back in a moment. So we'll just take you to the green room, and we'll be back in a second.
Okay, cool.
All right. All right, so that was Adam Clark. He's the founder of yourvocation.co.uk, and you'll find all the information about him.
Yes.
We'll post the link very soon. And I'm going to also go and take a break in a second, because my director and co-host on many other shows and executive producer of Dreamaniac is right here to take over.
Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alicia Curry here with Sebastian One. And I am here just to let you know what's happening with Dreamaniac TV. So first of all, this show is brought to you by Sebastian.com, Red Carpet CEO, and AliciaCurry.com. Sebastian.com provides branding, PR, social media services. They can do everything for you, from websites to building your perfect brand for your business and helping you promote and market that brand. Sebastian One is the Olivia Pope of branding and marketing, the global Olivia Pope, and he is super extraordinary. So here on Dreamaniac TV, we would like to introduce you to the products that we have available for you as an entrepreneur. So if you go to Dreamaniac.com/pricing, you will see all the products and services we have available for you. If you want to try just a little taste of what it's like to have your own show produced and marketed by Dreamaniac TV, then try our Taster package, which is a one-show package. If you would like to sign up for a half a season episode, that's 6 episodes, you can sign up for that, as well as we have 12 episode seasons that are available. We also just launched another show called Next Level. So with Next Level, we're giving you the opportunity to promote your business. These are sponsored shows, so you can promote your business to our audience here on Dreamaniac TV and have an opportunity to sell your product or service here on Dreamaniac TV. So check out all those packages. And until April 8th, we have an amazing special going on, which is 40% off of any product that you see on that website. So 40% off. All you need to do is email us at tv@dreamaniac.com, and in the subject heading, put intro 40. And that will allow you to have 40% off of all these wonderful services, but it is available only until April 8th. We are launching so many wonderful shows here on Dreamaniac TV. So this is just one of them. It is All Up in Your Business with Sebastian. And I would like to welcome Sebastian back to the show so that he can continue this amazing interview with Adam Clark. Welcome back, Sebastian.
Thank you, Alicia. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
That was an amazing break. Thank you. All right, so you're watching, if you're just tuning in right now, I'm Sebastian on it, and you're watching All Up in Your Business Season 1, Episode 2. And my guest with me is Adam Clark, and he's going to join us in a second right away. So we have been talking about how Adam had, how Adam have been focused on being perfect and perfectionism, because of which it held him back in finding his vocation, and which is why his business is called yourvocation.co.uk. So producer, please bring my guest back if he's ready, and let's begin and continue the conversation.
Hello.
There you are. So Adam, we have been talking about perfectionism. We have been talking about, as I call it, perfectionism is the hurdleism. And there's another thing you mentioned, overthinking, overanalyzing. And I think it goes hand in hand with perfectionism. But how has overthinking stopped you from being where you are today until you actually changed that?
Well, that's a very good question. Overthinking.
Wait, don't overthink that, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Overthinking, I feel, is something. It's obviously something in individuals' mind, the way that they think. It's a negative thing, really. It does hold you back. I think the best tip really is that you just need to pick your battles, if that makes sense. So you have to become conscious to the fact that you're thinking that way at that point in time. You need to understand yourself in order to know how you react to certain things, and know when that overthinking nature kicks in, and you have to consciously tackle that at the time by probably turning the negative to a positive. I think overthinking is often around negativity. What will that person think of me? How am I coming across? Do I have anything to add? Do I have any value add here? How am I being perceived? Does this dictate the type of opportunity that I'm going to get in future if I'm perceived poorly? There's a whole raft of different things for me that you can overthink on. But I think it's definitely got to be about understanding yourself, realizing when you're thinking that way, becoming conscious to it, and then positively dealing with it at source, and not allowing it to continue and procrastinate and get worse.
Right. And I just want to acknowledge a couple of comments because, of course, they're talking about Dreamaniac TV, so I'm going to acknowledge them. Eleni said, Dreamaniac TV is a great option. So thank you, Eleni. I agree with that. And Cindy Constable, who was my premier, who popped my cherry, as I say, on All of My Business. So she loves being part of Dreamaniac TV, and we love you, Cindy. Thank you for being my first guest. You literally, it was the most memorable show for me until then, and now I think Adam's going to take over. So please don't get jealous. Okay. Speaking of which, you spoke about overthinking and everything, and I think there comes a point where you need to find your own emotional intelligence. You need to understand the emotional intelligence, the very concept of it, and that changes things for you, because until you recognize as a person what's going on in your mind and where your thinking is taking you, the hurdles will continue to happen. So do you want to share a little bit of your thoughts about your waking up to emotional intelligence and how others should be focusing on that?
Yeah, I think the strap line, if you like, of Your Vocation is first you must understand yourself, which is your first step on your road to success. I think if we don't understand ourselves, we can't understand the people within our teams, because we don't understand how to think in the right manner to be able to suggest and help other people that are struggling in similar ways, and we can't then apply the same rationale and tool sets through coaching and mentoring of those people if we don't understand those things ourselves. And for me, it is just totally about being conscious, and it's about looking at various people on YouTube videos. It's about watching your show and hearing other people's point of view. It's learning through reading blogs, books. You know, there's so many places that you can find information from that sparks something, that plants a seed in your mind, to make you reflect, which is very key for me, is reflection. Because if you don't reflect, you don't understand, and then you can't take action on that. So, you know, use the resource that's around you is what I would suggest. And in some small way, if you can hook into a coach or mentor in your workplace or in your local community, or even one of us that are through the show here, you know, the experience, the experience and tools that those people will bring alongside everything else that you can tap into are kind of going to be your best road to take.
Right. And I think it is about taking, daring to try more than what you believe you can do, and allowing yourself to learn, because you use the term, being coachable is critical. And that's really true. And sorry to say that again, but I pushed you, and you were a little bit reluctant. And I think that's where being coachable or not comes, because again, something stopped you from taking that chance, from taking that leap to explore what's there to learn. And then suddenly something changed. So, being coachable is important.
Yeah, I think being coachable is critical. I feel I've always been coachable, but up to a point. And I think this experience, certainly prior to coming on today, has taught me that I'm not as coachable as I thought I was. So I'm going to the next level now, thanks to yourself. And my coachability is growing. But yeah, I think, when I find people or hear people say one thing but do the complete opposite, and of course you have to practice what you preach as well, you start to realize in yourself that perhaps you're not as coachable and you're not practicing what you preach, so you need to make a change.
Right. And Angelica's just tuning in from Bahamas. Oh God, she lives in such a great place. I'm jealous.
Wow,
I've been asking her to adopt me, so I hope after this show I can just fly there. Thank you, Cindy. It is our honor as well. So, and I think it goes back to the same thing, that, if you're not coachable, if you don't understand your own challenges, if you don't understand your own strengths, you can't be a leader, because what you are, how you think, and how you resist or welcome something is what you're going to, it will drip down to your team. That's exactly what's going to carry on. And that's going to then become a culture. That becomes the culture of an organization. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It sends ripples out.
Exactly.
It's like, even the slightest public negativity with your team is like dropping a stone in the pond and watch the ripples go across it. And the analogy is it goes across the people in your team. If they see you acting or behaving or reacting in a specific way, then it rubs off. It's almost like saying it's okay to do this, when actually if it's negative, then it's not okay to do that. So as a leader, you've got to be quite careful to balance the line of authenticity as well as, creating those ripples, the negative ripples.
That's right. And ripples, how you think is the kind of ripple you're going to create. If you have a positive mindset, you create the positive ripples. If you have the negative, that's what comes. Well, this has been very, very serious so far. So I want to just play a little game, and I just want to take it in a different direction.
Okay.
So here's the game. The game is called Adam Clark, Please Explain. So, producer, if you can please put up the pictures I have dug out. Please explain.
Okay, so well, I'm an 80s child and I grew up on Arnold Schwarzenegger films. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger action films, love them. So fancy dress it was one night, and I decided to buy the full face rubber mask of Arnie, and that has been my profile picture on Facebook for some time.
So can you do the accent? Can you do a dialogue for us?
Maybe from Pumping Iron. Don't put it on like this, put it on like that, and make it heavy.
That's amazing. That's perfect. Love it. But that's not all. Picture 2, producer, because Adam Clark, please explain.
Okay, so I also love to watch shows like Gas Monkey Garage, Boyd Coddington Hot Rods, you know, all the American hot rod shows. And I've always wanted my own hot rod. So I went out last year and I bought myself this lovely hot rod, which is a 1953 old Ford from the UK here.
Right.
And it's got everything under the sun to make it fast and loud. And yeah.
So I need to come for a ride then, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But wait. What is it with Americans and English that English people do the American things and American people do English? What is it? I've never understood. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe American TV, I think, is so much more fun than British TV in many cases.
And I believe British TV is so much more fun. So you know,
there you go.
What's anybody? But that's what I believe. You know, I think the comedy, English comedy, there's nothing next to it. But we are not done. Adam Clark, please explain. Okay, producer, there you go.
Okay, so this is Peter Crouch, Premiership footballer from the UK. And I have been out with mates probably 2 or 3 times, having had a few drinks, you know. I think one was actually a stag do of one of my friends. And we're in a seaside town called Newquay both times. And I was mistaken for Mr. Crouch. And I was asked to do the Crouch robot dance, which he does on pitch.
Right.
And all my mates found it hilariously funny. So to cut to the chase, when it was my honeymoon, myself and my wife went to this posh hotel. And I heard that the Sunderland football team were staying there as well that night. And I knew that Peter Crouch was on the team. Right. So imagine my wife's dismay when we walked down the stairs into the lobby and the whole team were having a squad meeting with their suited management at the front. And I saw Peter sitting at the end of the couch and I just said, you know what, I'm going to interrupt the meeting. I'm going to go straight in there and I'm going to tell him that I need a photograph because I'd never get a chance. But the odd thing was they were in full flow of the meeting and I actually interrupted the meeting and said, Peter, can I have a photograph because everybody says that we look alike. And the rest of the team and the managers were standing there gobsmacked looking at me as if to say, what is this guy doing? And he said, yeah, well, we're both good looking people, aren't we? So we got the photograph.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But I think the worst thing about this is all of the children, the 5, 6, 11-year-olds, you know, were all sitting patiently down the corridor with their parents, waiting to have their photographs signed and everything else. And there I was just butting straight in on the meeting. So,
and you just took over. I just
took over. I saw my opportunity and I went for it.
And hey, you didn't think, and perfectionism didn't play a role. You just did it.
No.
At least confidence. That's right. Confidence. So, it's the same thing. Something's got to trigger, and then you take that step, whether it's personal or professional. But we are here to actually talk about your business as well. So let's talk about business. We've had some fun. Now, since overcoming your perfectionism, overcoming your overthinking, and overcoming the fear of rejection, and that's a topic you actually saw, and that changed things for you. Since then, the business has grown. You have been offering a few services. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your services that you offer? And your brand is called Your Vocation.
Yeah, so just briefly, Your Vocation came about because I was providing evidence to one of the courses that I spoke about earlier. And I decided on the website I should blog about my experience and, post it. Maybe somebody could benefit from what I had to say. And it also helped me with the coursework. So that's where it came from. But since it has grown from a blog site into more of a business, and we look at 3 specific services there. The first is mindset coaching in its broadest term. And that is literally coaching in terms of open-ended discussion and question techniques to really make the coachee quite uncomfortable, if you like, to help them realize for themselves what it is that they may be trying to hide from, run from, disengage from, or not engage with, and help them to come to the point where they've made a decision on the action that they want to take. And then for me or one of the coaches to actually hold them to account to go and take the action. We look quite closely at reflecting on how people feel during the conversation, during the coaching, during the action taking, and after as well, so that we can see whether it's worked and whether we need to revisit anything and take things forwards from there.
Right.
So that's the first.
Sorry, I was just reading. Angelica's watching on and off while she's at a restaurant, at her daughter's restaurant, and the restaurant is called The Stone Crab. So there you go, Angelica. That's your plug-in. So tell whenever you can, right? So, mindset coaching, and then you also look into situational coaching and mentoring for. Is that just for individuals, or is it for corporates as well?
Yeah, I think situational coaching, mentoring, it's probably more mentoring, to be fair. This is about something specific that an individual or a group of people in a business have going on right now that they maybe need a bit of outside influence on, somebody with a fresh pair of eyes, somebody with experience.
So, sorry for interrupting, but how is it different from the mindset coaching and situational coaching, just for people to understand the different service and when they're looking for that?
Yeah, sure. So coaching and mentoring are separate by coaching is where somebody is going to listen intently and pose quite difficult open-ended questions to the individual to help them to realize for themselves what's going on and what action to take, and then to hold them to account for that. Whereas mentoring is about drawing on my experience or one of the mentors' experience and their capabilities that may differ from the individual that you're working with, and imparting that knowledge and advice and guidance onto that individual or group to help them move forwards and past whatever it is in that situation.
The mind is the center of any decision. So, so spot on. You also help with people engagement and high-performing teams as well. Can you explain a little bit about that service?
Yeah, sure. So this, it tends to work better, a bit more traditionally in terms of being able to be in front of teams, whether that's on video or in person, to understand what every person in the team needs from the business, the team from each other to understand what the gaps are, so that we can start to look at plugging those gaps. You know, high performing teams, it's subjective to the individual. Everybody thinks of a high performing team differently. It's not just about the outcomes, delivering objectives or hitting targets. It's about how you actually get there. And, you know, people are at the heart of everything. They're the most important commodity in a business. And everybody needs to understand how they add value, how they fit in. Everybody needs to have that feeling that, you know, they're empowered and entrusted to work as part of a team to deliver, you know, success. And over the years, I've kind of turned around some teams from having poor engagement, sort of around the 40%, to near doubling that. So yeah, really, it's around consultancy on how and what tools to use, I suppose, to create a more engaged, high-performing team to increase productivity.
And what I love is that you've truly shown leadership from actually facing those challenges yourself to now helping people to overcome exactly what you've faced, and, you know, showing them the path of, like, I've done this, I've gone through this, now I can help you as well. So that's absolutely amazing. I just want to do I believe you have some offers for our audience, and they're on our page. So do you want to share a little bit about those offers as well? And before you start, I just want to let people know that they can just go to www.dreamaniac.com/Adam, and they can find all the information on you, a little bit of backstory on your life as well, and all the offers that you're just about to share. Please take it away.
Yeah, sure. I'm guessing that the detail is on there, but you can also find it at yourvocation.co.uk as well. But we have 3 offers. Basically, we're talking about the standard hourly rate services. There's 15% off of those hourly rate services for Evermore as well. So on the total invoice, there's also 20% off of the blocked book services. So that's where you book 5 or more sessions in a block booking. And that's, again, forevermore for anybody that signs up through the show, through Dreamaniac.com. And also on the traditional consultancy services, whether that's video or in person, there's 10% off there. But I'm going to throw a spanner in the works now, Sebastian, and I haven't told you about this.
I thought I was the one going to surprise you. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So what I'd really love is to go all out and say, look, I would love to have 2 exclusive clients off the back of this show. And those clients will have access to 50% reduction on every service forevermore. And all I will be asking is for a testimonial, either in video format or written format, for the website. I just want to be clear on that. So the exclusivity is just for the first 2 people, first come, first serve, 50% off of the rates, and that will be a very much dedicated service to those individuals.
Well, that's amazing. I love that. So guys, if you're watching this right now, first 2 clients, first come, first serve, will get 50% off on all the services that Adam just laid out earlier. And you can find all the information on Dreamaniac.com/Adam. But we're not done yet. All that people can find on the website. I have just a tiny little surprise for you as well before we go. And that's just another game we have to play, which I call Rapid Fire. So
okay,
whenever you're ready.
Let's go.
All right, so the rule is very simple. I'm going to give you 2 options. You cannot think. The first thing that comes to your mind, you answer. If you think, I go, and we move forward.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, sushi or steak?
Steak.
Paris or Copenhagen?
Copenhagen.
Well, this is going to be a funny one. Dress or slacks?
Sorry, say that again.
Dress or slacks?
Slacks.
Okay, dogs or cats?
Cats.
African or Italian?
Italian.
Now, let's see how do you answer that. And I would love to see your wife's reaction. Pumps or sandals?
Pumps or sandals? Pumps.
All right. Indian or Chinese?
Indian.
Fried or baked?
Baked.
Beach or the mountains?
Beach.
Coffee or wine? Be careful how you answer that.
Definitely coffee.
Okay, we're not friends anymore. I'm joking. They're both great. Thank you so much for that. That was fun. I hope you had some fun as well. So that was amazing, Adam. And I'm just so amazed and proud. We started off on Twitter, and oh, okay. I think my guest just got dropped out, but that's okay. So Adam and I met on Twitter, started from there, and got to know each other. I was impressed with things he had to say, and literally had so much. We kept in touch for over a year, and all this happened, and now it's just been an amazing experience. From facing your own challenges, Adam, you have actually started helping others, and not just started, you've actually successfully created a business that's helping so many out there. So, thank you for believing in my response on tweets. Thank you for getting on that call, and thank you for tuning into Vanessa Cannavaro's show, because she's an amazing lady, and I'm just amazed. In 6 minutes, she gave you the confidence and created a story and a journey that I think you and I will remember for a long time.
Absolutely. This is where it's all started. And it's thanks to you guys, Dreamaniac TV, and of course, Vanessa. If I hadn't have heard that, I wouldn't have been here tonight. So, yeah,
look,
fantastic.
To be honest, I tried to actually get you surprised by getting her, but unfortunately she's working, so I couldn't do that. That was going to be my surprise. I was like, oh well, I tried, So thank you so much, and thank you for wonderful information you have shared. And once again, this is not all. I would love to have you on other shows now that we've literally popped your cherry on the TV. So you're going to come get it again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. Thank you, Adam. All right. So that was All Up in Your Business with me, Sebastian One, and on Dreamaniac TV. We talked about, overcoming perfectionism, having the right mindset, and how the difference between the leadership and being a manager, and how all that plays into your success story. So thank you for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from. And I just wanted to remind you again that this show has been brought to you by Sebastian.com and AliciaCurry.com. Alicia Curry is the executive producer of Dreamaniac TV, and I'm the creative director. We run a few shows, and we have some amazing offers going on right on Dreamaniac TV. If you have a story like Adam, and if you're interested to be a guest, please go to Dreamaniac.com/guest and submit an application, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll bring you on one of the shows. As well as I said, we have Alicia just shared during the break, we have amazing offers going on. If you want to create your own show, if you want to bring your own guests, and if you want to launch your own campaign at Dreamaniac TV, we help you with that. Simply just go on to Dreamaniac.com/pricing, and right now the offer is first 20 people, or until April 8. If you send us an email on tv@dreamaniac.com with the subject line intro 40, you get 40% off on any of the plans we have right now. So once again, thank you for watching. This was All Up in Your Business, Season 1, Episode 2 on Dreamaniac TV, and it has been broadcasted on our preferred live partners, BeLive.tv. So until then, dream big and make it happen. See you guys.